Welcome back to more Sip the Tally, and I'm your host, Coach Evans. And today I want to bring you the NFC version of camp battles. Yesterday you had the AFC version, today's the NFC version. I picked 5 battles that really intrigued me, and I'm going to elaborate on why they're so important to me. Let's get started. We're going to start this NFC version with Baker Mayfield versus Kyle Trask. Baker played for 2 teams last year. Started with the Rams, got traded to Tampa Bay. Ended up starting, I think, 10 games. Yeah, started 10 games. Had a 2-8 record. Threw for just over 2,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. And we know we've all followed Baker's career. Started in Cleveland, was the franchise guy. Stuff went sideways with the Odell stuff and other things, and went to L.A. and won his first game there, and but then it went down here there, and now following Tom in Tampa, it's let me start over. I don't like that. We're gonna start our matchup with the NFC side with Baker Mayfield versus Kyle Trask. And we know Baker played for 2 teams last year. Started in Carolina, got traded to the Rams. Um, stuff went downhill quick in Carolina with the coach, and he got a bunch of the blame for it. Stuff it started going sideways for Baker. Well, not sideways, downhill for Baker. Even in Cleveland with the Odell stuff and Odell's dad, and just a roller coaster of things that happened where he had to get out of there. So he ended up going to Carolina. That didn't pan out well. Was 1-5. Got traded to the Rams, and it looked promising. Won his first game, but then went and lost the next 3. Ended up being 2-8 as a starter last year. So Tampa Bay picked him up as a free agent to come in and compete for the job that Tom Brady left vacant, and the guy he's competing with is Kyle Trask. Kyle Trask last year was with the Bucks. Started 1 game, played in 2. Was only 3 of 9. Had 9 attempts. That's all. 23 yards. So you're basically having a Kyle's not a rookie, but he's technically a rookie based off experience versus Baker Mayfield, who's been a starter for 5 years, and they're neck and neck, competing for the job of following Tom Brady, which are huge shoes to fill. Um, Baker can do it, man. Baker has the experience. He's played in big time games. His decision making is what has gotten him in trouble in the past. And the fact that I think, this is me, there's no fact to this is me. I think he thinks his arm is better than it is, and it gets him in trouble. I think he thinks he has a cannon, and he only has a rocket. Huge difference. And if you know football, you know what I'm talking about. So this is going to be one of the matchups I keep my eye on to see who actually wins it, even though I think Baker's going to win it just off experience. But if he plays like crap in practice, Kyle can slide in, and Kyle may end up being the starter the second half of the year. If they start off and they're not doing good, I can see them, sliding Kyle in and just starting the process of easing Baker out of there and off the team. Continuing on with the AFC side of camp battles, we're going to look at the New York Giants. And it's Jalen Hyatt, the speedster from the University of Tennessee, versus Isaiah Hodgins. And Isaiah Hodgins being going into his 3rd season as an NFL receiver. Last year he had 37 catches, 4 touchdowns, splitting time with Buffalo and the Giants. Hyatt coming in as a rookie was not drafted as high as he thought he was, and I actually thought he was going to be a first rounder too, but he wasn't taken that early. But we all know Hyatt can fly, even though he didn't run the 4.2 that he was looking for at his pro day. But when you turn the tape on of Jalen Hyatt, you can tell he's way faster than anybody on the team. Go back and look at the video or the game of him versus Alabama this past year. Actually, you can see footage of that on this channel. You can go back and find the Jalen Hyatt film. He had 4 touchdowns versus Bama. And we all know how good Bama is in college, and he was cooking those guys, cooking them. And like once he got the ball in his hands, he was leaving people out the screen. That's just how fast, high it is. Can he do more than just be a speed guy? That's what the scouts wanted to see, heading up to the draft process. Even one Cowboy scout even said it to him. We want to see if you can do more than just run go routes. And I think he can do that. He just wasn't asked to do that at Tennessee. Can he beat out Hoskins for the number 2 spot in New York Giants? I think so. If he can show that he can be more than just a 9-route guy or a post route, I think it'd be easier to take over Hoskins because he's by far the younger guy gonna always have an advantage. Always. Because he's going to be less expensive. He has more time with the team, and the potential is there. So all he has to do is just come in and just don't have drops. If he don't have drops and he can get in and out of breaks and be in there when they do their base stuff, I don't think he'll have any problem being a number 2 guy. And at minimum, he'll be a slot receiver. And when I say slot receiver, not necessarily being the guy in the slot, but when they go with their slot packages, be even one of those 3 receivers out there. Next up, we got Jalen Carter versus Jordan Davis. We know Jordan Davis going into his 2nd year as a Philadelphia Eagle, came from the University of Georgia. Jalen Carter, who's a rookie, coming from the University of Georgia. So these guys were teammates 2 years ago. Now, looking at the screen, you're probably wondering, why do I have these 2 war daddies pitted against each other? Because they're both probably going to play. You got to keep in mind Fletcher Cox is still there. So one of these cats not going to be on the field. So who wins that starting battle is going to be interesting to see. Now, Jordan Davis was in the rotation a little bit on a great defense, but he got hurt. So we don't know the full package of what Jordan can do in the NFL. Jalen Carter, in my opinion, was the best player in this draft. He got this off the field thing that's going on with, y'all know what happened down in UGA after the national championship. So that's probably why he slid as far down as he did. But to me, he was the best player in the draft. Can Jordan Davis hold his friend and former college teammate off to be a starter in Philadelphia? Because they got rid of a key piece of that defensive line to make a way for these 2 young fellas. So seeing who wins that spot beside Fletcher Cox is going to be interesting to see in the city of brotherly love between 2 guys that are going to be good players for a long time, pending what happens with Jalen Carter's situation, as we just going to leave it at that. This is one of the battles I'm really looking forward to. Kyler Gordon versus Tyreek Stevenson. And I'm going to start with Kyler Gordon. Kyler Gordon came from the University of Washington last year. This will be his 2nd season with the Bears. Last year, he started 14 games, had 3 interceptions, 6 pass deflections, a forced fumble, 71 tackles. Tyreek Stevenson from the University of Miami. If you know I'm a Miami fan, Hurricane fan. And it wasn't a lot of bright spots with the University of Miami, but the cornerback position was one of them. And they played a lot of man, and Tyreek did a lot of good things. Now, again, I go to ESPN.com for the depth chart because for some strange reason, the actual team sites won't update their depth charts. I don't know who they think they fooling, or like other NFL teams can go figure stuff out. So just update your stuff, man. But Tyreek can play man. And I don't know what scheme the Bears are going to run, but if it's a lot of man stuff, and I know Kyler Gordon's good. I do. I remember, doing draft stuff on him the year before. But Tyreek playing man, that's a whole different situation. And I saw a couple of clips already of him clamping Chase Claypool. Now, honestly, it's just preseason. It's just a day or 2 of camp. I understand. But still, Claypool's a vet. Tyreek's a couple of days as an NFL player. I'm rooting for Tyreek in this one. I'm rooting for Tyreek. So I'll keep my ears close to Courtney Cronin's Twitter to see who wins this battle. And I mentioned Courtney Cronin because my last actual podcast before I went into the video side of it was with Courtney, and she started as she covered the entire state of Mississippi sports. She left Mississippi and went on to cover the Warriors, went on to cover, I want to say, the Vikings, did another team, and now she's back close to her hometown of Chicago covering the Bears. So if you want to see that, that's on my main channel. That was the actual last just podcast I did, and she's taken off since then. So shout out to Courtney. She's also on Pardon the Interruption. Not Pardon the Interruption. That's Tony Kornheiser. I forgot the show where they ask all the questions. They come on right before PTI. I forgot the name of it, but she on there every time. All right. That's my name dropping for today. And those are the 5 camp battles that I'll be looking at this season. The 2023 season is upon us. Training camp has started for all teams now, so there's a bunch of footage and information for us to devour for whatever team you love. So enjoy it. Everybody's 0-0 right now. Everybody has a fighting chance at the Super Bowl ring, so take advantage of it. Enjoy the content, and appreciate everybody for coming through. If you have not liked the video, please do so. If you've not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can be notified when the rest of the videos drop for the 2023 season. I appreciate you for coming through. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. See you next time.